So here's a quick question from the arithmetic sequence and series using technology to do the summations for you. And the trick here is knowing what the proper notation is. So we're going to look at this series and see that it goes 1/5, then 2/5, then 2 squared over 5, then 2 cubed over 5, and then 2 to the 13th over 5. So the 5 is staying constant, and we're looking at powers of 2. So there's a couple ways that we could write this. So first we have our sigma notation. I'm going to use the letter n to indicate the term number. And so if we say n equals 1, and then we have something over 5. So we would have 2 raised to the, well, 2 to the 0th power is 1. So we would have n minus 1. And if we go all the way up to 13, 14 minus 1 is 13. So this would give the sequence for the first x number of terms, the series. Another way you could use the notation is sigma. We can still say n, but in this case we can say 0, and that would go up to 13. Again, would be over 5, and that would be 2 to the nth power. So again, if we said n is 0, or our counter starts at 0, then we would have 2 to the 0th power is 1, which would give us 1/5, then the next, then the next, then the next, all the way up to the 13th power, which is the more explicit form. Third way you could do this is if you don't like having a 1/5 over each term, you could also put the 1/5 in front because it's a constant, and we could say, let's just use the previous one, n equals 0 to 13 of 2 to the nth power. So these are three ways you can write it. So then let's jump over to Desmos. So just quickly, to get this notation, we have our first one where we had 2 to the n minus 1 when n is 1 to 14. We also had n equals 0 to 13 of 2 to the n over 5. And then our third way, which is 1 over 5 times the sum of 0 to 13 of 2 to the n. And if you're wondering how we got that, if you hit function, and then you go, it usually starts on trig, so if we go all the way over to the miscellaneous, the last row, middle column, we hit the sum button. It gives us n. So if we wanted 1, and then we'll say 14, because 14 minus 1 is 13, I'm going to stick this 1/5 in front, and I'm going to say 2 raised, and I'm going to put parentheses around here so it doesn't kick me out, n minus 1. And the nice thing about Desmos is if it wanted to, but the question doesn't ask us, we want to the nearest 2 decimals. If we wanted it as a fraction, all we have to do is hit the fraction button. And again, you see that it's over 5. So our answer in this case is A. That's how you use the technology. Hope this helps with expanding out series.